All right. Hi, everybody. Juju here with Juju's Collectibles Corner, and I'm also part of JLV Moments and More. I am doing a live stream because it's been a very long time since I've done one, and apparently my channels were not connected to my Restream, uh, so I had to fix that, and hopefully I am on YouTube. Um, I don't know, though. So apparently I am on because Eric just said hi. Hi, Eric. I am playing around with stuff. It's a little bit crazy. Hey, can you hear like a noise in the background? I'm just curious because I have a little heater going on my feet because my feet are cold, and if it's on, I might just have to turn it off. If you guys can hear it, playing around with my phone here real quick. Now here's the now are we on? Oh, yep. I can't. Okay, let me turn it off. Which channel are you watching it on, Eric? Because technically I got it going through both. The JLV and my Juju. At least it's supposed to be. Okay. Hopefully that will not be as distracting. So let's see. Let me check something here. JLV. Okay. All right. It should be on both. Yes, it looks like I am on both. Yeah. Stop that. Yep, I am. Cool. All right, I'm gonna have to just bear with me. The screen is gonna shake a little bit because I got to do some typing. I got to change the name of the stream. I should have done that earlier. Probably should have done all this before I started the live stream. Okay, cool. Thank you, Eric. So I just updated the name of the stream too. So I figured that while I was doing this, I'd go ahead and go live just for fun, and also because I have some questions about some of the stuff that I bought that are really I don't know the answer to. Like this one right here. So for anybody who collects comic books, um, or who anybody who likes Tony Daniel, this is Noctera. Um, this was a book that he did from 2021, I believe. I'll have to. I'm. I don't have all the notes in front of me, but when I was doing my League of Geeks cataloging on this particular issue, the cover that they have on the website, her outfit is more red. Um, Now I've seen that the Image First reprint has this exact coloring, but this is not an Image First reprint. This is a cover A of the original. This is a first printing of cover A. It's just got different color variation of her suit. So if anybody out there who watches this or is watching and has this book or the other book, please let me know. Was there a color variation on this cover? Because honestly, I can pull it up. Let me see if I can do a screen share here real quick. So let me go ahead and remove that. There we go. Let's do a screen. Hang on, I gotta pull this off too. Over here. All right. There we go. Let me go ahead and find the Noctera first. All right, where are we at? Come on, where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at? All right. There we go, right there. All right, so I am going to go ahead and share my screen. So for anybody who is watching can see this. So this is my League of Comic Geeks account. I catalog all of my stuff on their website. It's awesome. It's just to me. I like CLZ, but the League of Comic Geeks, I have my account on the web, but then I also have the app on my phone, and I don't have to pay separately for those. It's all together. Now I know there is a version to where you can do that with CLZ, but when I signed up with CLZ, I only signed up for the app. Now, if I wanted to, I have to like add the web to it, and then it's like I don't want to do that. All right, so this is the book that I'm talking about. So if you look at her suit, it's red. You know, you can see it clearly that it is red. And then let me see if I can get this going here. If I can try doing this. There we go. So you can see that her suit is red, but on this one, it is like a gray color. So my question is, do we have, is there a coloring issue on the cover A's, or is there just a color variation? Now I know, I'll go ahead and stop sharing real quick. Stop sharing. There we go. Now I know, like with Disney pins, and I have several of them. You have color variations with the pin colors. Um, I've never seen that with a comic book though. Now I've seen misprints where the ink, something happened with the ink, and um, the color of certain pages were not the correct colors because the ink got screwed up. But I've never seen one on a cover like this before, so I don't know if what the deal is here. I'm going to have to look. I'll have to do some research and double check and see. And then I also will have to. So this is one that I bought at the show. I bought it out of the dollar bin. But I'll have to. I already had this particular issue. I just wanted another one. But I'll have to go back and check and see what my first copy looks like compared to this copy, because if it's the red color, then I've got what do I got here? I got a red one and I got a gray one. So, and then I'll pull back up the screen to share real quick, because let's see. If you look at this here, the reprint, there's this Image First 2022 edition, and it has her in this gray suit, not the red one. But I don't have this on the side of my issue. So I'm not quite sure what this is. So just throwing that out there for anybody who watches this. If you happen to have both of these, if you happen to see this, if you happen to know about it, please send me a comment. Let me know what the deal is. And in the meantime, too, later today I'll do some research to see if there was any color variants on these, because, like I said, it's a cover A. I looked at it. The back of it says cover A. And I already have a cover A, but it looks different than what League of Comic Geeks has. So I don't know. So Eric, I hope you and Sean are doing well. It has been quite a while since we've been doing anything on here. I've been doing videos. What's funny is I found that my comic book videos get more views than anything else. So I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of comic book stuff. That's why today I'm on here. I am going through and rebagging and boarding all the stuff that I bought from my personal collection. And then I'm also going through things that I picked up that I'm going to try and resell on our eBay store. So everything that is going into my personal collection, I am bagging in my, that's a little tight. So this is an annual, so it's 64 pages. It's a little bit bigger, thicker book. But I'm using Comic Pro Line Mylar regular size bags and 28-point regular size boards. Pretty much that's going to be my go-to for all of my personal collection stuff now. Comic Pro Line has a really good prices, and I have not had a single issue with any of the bags and boards that I've done. And I have pre-bagged and boarded. I've already gone through 100 Mylar bags and 128-point boards, and not a single split, nothing. I mean, I may have an occasional like little string here from the Mylar bags, but it's nothing. It's not like they're just all over the place. And I also bought 1,000. I bought their bulk boards and bags. They're 1,000 boards, 1,000 bags, and I think it was $110 for the whole deal. You can't beat that, man. $110 for 1,000 bags and boards. So all of my stuff that I'm going to be using for like eBay and some of the books that aren't as crisp as some of my in my personal collection, I'll throw in those. But like anything that I throw on eBay will be in the bulk bags and boards. But those are just as good as BCW or Ultra Pro or any of them. I mean, and they're so much cheaper. The quality is still there, but the price is way better. I will pretty much everything I use will from now on go into Pro Line stuff, Comic Pro Line. That's pretty much what I'm going to be using for all of my stuff from moving forward. And I'll tell everybody about it. If you got any questions, ask me, because I have had no issues with anything that I bought. I have their clear boards too. Their clear board stuff looks really good. And then I got to do an order with I got to get some silver bags, because I've noticed that the clear boards, they are 30-point. So getting into the regular bag is a little tight sometimes. And I figure if I go up to the silver age, it'll give me that little extra room that I need to get that board in there with no problem. And then the book will fit even better. But so I've gone through and I was looking for a lot of stuff for my PC, but also a lot of stuff because I like to find things and resell. We have an eBay store, but I also like to buy stuff and talk about them too. My big thing for this trip was I was looking for 2 particular comic books. I didn't find either. I'm looking for a Zootopia #1. I'm looking for it for my daughter because she likes Disney. I'm trying to get her into comic books, and she took a liking to the Zootopia issues that I did find. So I'm trying to find, the only one I don't have now is Zootopia #1. So I'm trying to find that. Did not find it. none of the vendors at the show had it. So I'm probably just gonna have to break down and look for it on eBay or something. The other book I was looking for was Uncanny X-Men 500 Michael Turner cover. Michael Turner, my favorite artist of all time. I love his artwork. I had almost every single one of his books in 2010, and I ended up selling my collection. I regret it every day. But this time I went through and I found some Michael Turner stuff that I needed because I found them. Some of them I found in dollar bins. Some of them I paid a little bit more money because they weren't in the dollar bins. But still, I ended up getting this Witchblade #1, which is Michael Turner. I think it was like $10. There is a couple issues with it, but I'm like I was happy. I was okay with that. I also got this Witchblade #10. Great looking. Love Michael Turner artwork. It's awesome. And then I found these two in a dollar bin. They're really good shape. This is Batman Superman #12. And then I also got the Batman Superman, and this is the Dark Side variant, #13. So really good, really cool stuff. And then I have more stuff that I found in one of the dollar. So there was one vendor there. And I want to say their name was Cherry Pickers. Cool guys, really good stuff, a lot of fun, cool stuff. And they had a deal where you could either fill up a short box for $50 or a long box for $100. Well, I started out filling up the 50 and then realized that I had filled the 50 up pretty quickly. So I was like, screw it, I'm going to the long box. Filled the long box full. I mean, I stuffed them suckers in there. So I have a long box sitting right down here that I have not gone through, that I bought at the show yesterday. Close to probably 200 to 300 books in this box. Some of them I bought from my own PC. Some of them I bought to resell on eBay. And some of them, they'll go into my PC, but they're a little bit of a project. And I'm going to do probably a video on this at some point in time because we found that it does work. Let me get up for a second. So I've been wanting to read this story for a very long time. I missed out on the issues. I really, really hate that I missed out on them. But I found this. I got this at a used bookstore just around the corner from us. And it had at the top here a price sticker for what the shop was selling it for. It was $14.95, but I had some store credit because I had brought some used books up there, so I got this for $9. This was when this came out. This was a 30. Like if you buy this new, this is a $30 book at a bookstore. I got it for $9. So with the price tag was up here in the corner, and I was like, if this is going to be in my personal collection, I really don't want to have it with the price tag on there. So my wife did some sleuthing on YouTube and found, and I also asked my comic book group that I'm in on Facebook, and a couple of them mentioned using Zippo gas. I really didn't want to go that route because I didn't want to damage the cover, but that is another method that I may try later. But my wife used a hairdryer. She took the hairdryer and she slowly heated the area where the sticker was, and she was able to slowly peel the sticker away. Now there's still maybe a little bit of residue that's on there, but I've found that if you take some they suggest using like a dab of rubbing alcohol on a paper towel or cloth or something, and you can wipe that off and it won't damage the book. So, going into that, some of these books that I found at Cherry Picker's table, they were in the dollar bin and they have price stickers on them. So I'm going to test some of those books and see how the hair dryer method works on the comic books, because this is a different, the cover on this is a little bit thicker. It's more like your traditional book cover, paperback book cover. Comic book covers, sometimes they will be cardstock, sometimes they will be paper. Most of the ones that I found are paper. So I'm going to test the hair dryer method on those, and I will let everybody know. I'll do a video on it, and I'll let everybody know how it works or not. Because some of those books I want in my personal collection because they're books that I've been looking for. A couple of them are actually Turner covers, so it's definitely on my list of things to get done this week. Although we have a whole lot of stuff going on this week. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna put this away. All right, but if you can see it a little bit, like this right here. This is stuff that I've been working on for the last week. Actually, probably since Thanksgiving, so a couple weeks. This stack here is everything this small one right here. This is everything that I've got on eBay right now, and that's not even everything. I have a stack sitting over by the TV that is the Nightfall run. I have parts 1 through 19. All in decent condition. I have that listed on eBay as well right now. But this whole stack right here on top is stuff that's going into my personal collection. This is all personal collection stuff. I picked this up the last week. This is the second printing of the Absolute Batman 13, which was the first appearance of Catwoman. If you have not read this, if you have not read Absolute Batman, you need to check it out. It's amazing. Amazing. It is so not the Batman that you know, but it's the Batman you always wanted to see. It really is. I love it. I have all of the issues, not first printings. My issue number 1 is a 9th printing. Yeah, 9th printing. And I wouldn't be surprised if a 10th printing is coming out soon as well. But I have read, I have the 9th printing of 1. I think I have the 3rd or 4th printing of everything else from 2 to 8, and 9. And then I think issue 10 was the first one that I got a first printing of. But I've read up to issue 8, and it's so good. It is so good. I recommend it to anybody who likes a fun, a great story. Even if you're not a comic book fan, check it out. I think you'll like it. So back to I look for Turner stuff. Those are my two. It's got way off on a tangent. Sorry there, guys. So I was looking for Zootopia number 1 and Uncanny X-Men 500 Turner cover. Did not find them anywhere. Heroes in Charlotte. Heroes aren't hard to find. It's a shop here in Charlotte. They run the big show in June, which I can't wait to go to. But they said they might have one at the store, so I don't know if I'll run up there sometime this week or not. We'll see. But I did find other books that I was trying to get for my Uncanny X-Men run. I found 187. Now, if you're part of the comic book collectors group on Facebook, I did make a post about this. I thought this was potentially a Mark Jewelers insert book, but it is not. It just has a jeweler's ad. It does not have the insert. And I've found that the insert would be in the middle of the book, and it would be both pages. So, like I said, I was hoping, but I wasn't holding my breath. But it is a newsstand variant. It is a newsstand. It's not the direct issue. It's a newsstand. So I needed 187. I also found 189, and that's a direct. And then this was I need to get it pressed because it definitely has some waviness to the issue. But I got it out of the dollar bin, and it's at the time it was one of the most controversial covers that the X-Men had. This is 190 X-Men, Uncanny X-Men 195, and you've got Wolverine holding a child with his claws out. It's like, what the heck? So, but if you look at it, you can kind of see the waviness of the book. So I might try and take that to somebody and see if they can press it out for me. We'll see. And then I also got 196 as well. Got this for $2.50. This book here. Actually, all four of these. Even the one, yeah, all four of these were $2.50. Not bad. So, $10, and I got 4 issues of Uncanny X-Men that I needed. So, and like I said, I'm going through rebagging everything, so that I can get it all nice and neat in my boxes, which are a mess right now. Nothing is in order. Alrighty. But I figured I'd go live, talk to y'all while I do this. Say hi to everybody. Let's see. So this here, I don't know if anybody remembered this when it came out. This is Dark Ride. Cool book. Very, very not for kids. Definitely not for kids. But it was a great book, and I was, by the time I stopped collecting for a little bit, probably around the beginning. Let's say it was probably sometime around the beginning of 2024. I had to stop collecting for a little while, and I missed out on the last 4 issues of this. It was a 12-issue run. I have 1 through 8. I have 12, so I just need to find 9, 10, and 11. But at the time, for some reason, I missed out on issue 5. So I found this in the dollar bin. Like, even though it says $4, this was a dollar bin book. So, actually, no. I know where I get. Yes, these were $1. Yeah, these were dollar books. Really cool. Great fact that I was able to find them for $1. Cool. And then this was a variant of issue 4 that I had never gotten. So very cool. It's a really, really freaky story. So I'm not sure. It's not for everybody. Definitely not for everybody. So like I said, I'm going through everything that I bought, rebagging everything up. They use nice, decent board. So I've decided that all of the old boards I'm going to keep, only because I can use them to help protect stuff when I ship it. Because I can tape 2 or 3 boards together, and then sandwich the boards, the comic book bagged and boarded in between these to help keep everything nice and flat. Because I don't have as much cardboard as I used to since we moved. A lot of stuff got tossed out because we don't have room for it here. But comic book boards are definitely easier for me to deal with, and they take up much less room. Now, something else that I learned while on this comic book group is If you when you seal up your bags, if you are serious about your comic books and or if you are have always had that fear of your Scotch tape sticking to your bag, sticking to your book as you go to take it out, because I have had that happen to me. Um, Thankfully, I've been lucky enough to where I was able to very gently get the tape off. But I have gone to painter's tape pretty much for everything that I do with my comic books now, because you are a lot less likely to get this snagged, or well, you'll get it could still get snagged, but you can get this off a lot easier than you can Scotch tape. And also, it's great for when you're opening and closing your bags. It keeps them. It makes it easier to open. And I'm a single taper. I don't do the two tapes on the corners, mainly because this is my personal collection stuff, and I'm not going to be going and flipping them through all the time. So here's a perfect example. So this is the Mylar bag from Comic Pro Line. If you can see it, very small. There's one little thing. You do that, it's gone. I mean, that doesn't bother me. That's an easy fix, in my opinion. So anybody who tells you that the Comic Pro Line Mylar bags are trash, they're not. They're not. I mean, you can't beat it, because I got a bag of 100 regular sized Mylar bags for I think it's $22. $22. I mean, come on. And then so this is another one where I'm talking about. So this is definitely this is a cardstock cover. So this would be I'd be a little bit more. I wouldn't have to be quite as careful if it had a price tag on it, because like I said, it's got that thicker board to it, more sturdy. I did notice that this does have like a little crease at the corner here, but I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't buy like some stuff I buy maybe to resell, but anything that I buy for my PC, I am not overly concerned about condition, because the condition's not the reason why I'm buying it. I'm buying it because I want the book. Now, if I end up buying something and it's too fragile to read, then I will go and look for the trades, so that I can go and read that story. Because eventually I would like to read all of my comic books. That's going to be, let's see, I've got over 2,000, and I think I've only read 115 of them. So that's a lot of reading still to do. So, alrighty, here we go. This is another one. So I'm trying to get the entire run of Uncanny X-Men Volume 1. That goes from issue 1 to issue 544. I have over 250 of the issues so far. Most of what I have, though, is between 200 and 400. I'm slowly backing my way down through the 100s. Let me pull up see what we got here. Alrighty. And I do have some off-the-wall comic books, only because I like the art and I like the story. Let's see, where are you, Uncanny X-Men? There we are. Okay. So I'll go ahead and share my screen again so y'all can see this. This is what I have. I've got 263 collected out of 544, with an estimated value of $1,510. Now, that's like if the books are near mint. Not all of my books are near mint, so the only issue with League of Comic Geeks is you can't really give like your book a grade, like what you think it could be. So that's something that I'm sure they're probably looking to work on. I have 15 key issues, and then I've got this. So 512 is the last one that I got. I've got, let's see, 505, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I got that complete. I got most of the 500s. I am missing 501 for some reason. I got from the 490s. Good bit of stuff here. Slowly building into the 400s. I picked up this book, 432. I picked up 431. And I believe 429 yesterday at the show. Now I also still have more, like I said. So I ended up buying. Here we go. Let me show you this first. So this was. I'm actually curious myself because I want to say I have. Where is it? So we got $2.99. $2.85 through say 84, 80, 30, 82, 81, 80, 79. I'm going to say I have almost the entire run from 200 to 300. So I picked this one up. I think no, so I am. I'm still missing. No, we got 240, 240, 30, 35, 33. Oh seven, 206, 205, 204, 203, 202, 201. So this one right here, this Uncanny X-Men 201, I picked that up this week on on Sunday, and I got it for, I want to say $2.50. This is a key book right here. This is one that I had not found in quite a while. So it does look like I still need 200. So I'm missing 200. I think out of that, and it's a newsstand. This was a newsstand issue right here. So I don't know if some of the people didn't realize what they had, but to me that was a big deal right there, picking that book up. Because the reason it is a key issue is this right here, the first appearance of Nathan Summers from Earth 616. So Nathan Summers is Cable. So that's a lot of why that book has some value to it, and I was shocked to have found it for $2.50. So it was such a good find for me. And then one of the other runs that I'm trying to do, and this will be a little bit easier until I get to issue 98. I'm trying to get the entire run of the New Mutants as well. and I picked up books 6, 7, and 8 out of dollar bins. So pretty cool. And the reason I say I'm going to have some issue, well, even issue 70, gosh, I should know this, but I don't. I don't have it on the top of my head. Where are you, New Mutants? Here we go. So, issue 70. Oh, I don't even have a facsimile of it. I used to have it. Let me go real quick. So, sorry, issue number 87. So, issue number 87, New Mutants 87 and New Mutants 98 are going to probably cost me $600 to $700 to get between the two of them. Mainly because issue 87 is the first appearance of Cable, and issue 98 is the first appearance of Deadpool. I used to have an issue 98, and I used to have a facsimile of issue 87, but they were in my original collection, which I sold off in 2010. So, yeah, kicking myself in the butt for that one, because issue 98 is probably in the 500s right now for a raw copy. And I'm not a big fan of graded. I like raw better. And then an issue 87, I could probably, depending on condition, I could probably get anywhere from 90 to 150. Just depends on condition. And if I can get some wiggle room on that, try and talk them down a little bit. But a lot of times it's hard to get people to talk down on some of those books because honestly, the value of them are just going to keep going up. So I'm going, like I said, going through here, just chit-chatting. Pretty much this is all comic book talking right now today. I'm just doing a live stream just to have some fun, talk to some people, and back up and go through what I picked up yesterday at the Charlotte show. So I have also this goes on to one of the videos that I made the other day about the upside down bagging and boarding. I know one of the main reasons why comic book shops will do it is so that when you're flipping through the books, because I noticed this on a lot of the stuff that I bought this past weekend, and I noticed both sides of it. When you're bagged and boarded upside down, it definitely makes it easier to go through the boxes as you're going through looking for stuff. When you have them flipped over the other way, when you have them bagged the right way like you would do in your own PC, the tape will come off, or people will grab them and open them up because they want to look and see what it looks like on the inside, but then don't seal it back up properly, and you have the flap sitting up as you're trying to flip through stuff, which is very annoying, I will say. So kudos to the comic book shops that do that, because it definitely makes it easier to go through when you're trying to look through the boxes of what everybody's got. But for your stuff that in your own personal collection, there's no reason to do it, especially if you have your stuff in an area that has the potential of getting flooded. Don't do it. Just bag it and board it the normal way, because it will keep your books protected. For God forbid if you're where you have your books stored floods. For right now, my bulk of my collection is in a storage unit down in Georgia, and I'm here in Charlotte. So yeah, not too happy about that, but we're working on it. and I got to get things more organized. I've got, sheesh, since we moved to Charlotte, I've probably bought dang near 500-600 comic books. So I have a whole bunch of stuff to add. All of my stuff is all jacked up when it comes to alphabetical order. I'm also debating on, do I really want to keep it in alphabetical order, or do I want to switch it to, like, keeping all the similar titles to get, like here, like New Mutants. New Mutants was part of the X-Men universe when it comes in Marvel. Um, so it would be beneficial to have all of, like, my X-Men, New Mutants, X-Force, X-Factor, um, all in the same area in my personal collection, so that it's easier for me to go through and find stuff, especially if I want to read some of those stories again. Um, I'm debating on whether or not I want to change out how I have my personal collection organized. Also, I'm thinking about, because I've seen how they look, the dividers that you can get with the nice printed, like, title of the book, instead of just having, like, W or X or S, because the with the printed name of the actual comic book on it, that's such a nice look to it. Um, Especially when you're going just thumbing through your stuff. That way, also, you could separate it out by title even easier. So, I would get one that says New Mutants on it, but in the style of the New Mutants title. Um, so it's just something to think about for your own personal collection too. I have seen some people in the comic book group that I'm in show pictures of how they have theirs, and it looks really good. I really do like it. Now, like I said, when it comes to my personal collection, especially some of these older books, I don't want to pay a lot. Um, I really don't want to pay a lot, but if I happen to find one in really good condition and it's at a decent price, I will pick it up. Um, but some of these, like, this is, I'm not gonna, it's not a bad condition, but it's not like perfect. It's not it's not a 9. I don't even think it would be an 8. Probably somewhere in that 7 range. Even lower. I'm not a professional grader, so I'm just guesstimating. But probably in that 5 to 6 range. But still, I like to be able to take my book out and look at it, or just flip through it and read it one day. So that's the why I'm not a big fan of slab books. Plus, also, slab books take up more room. They really do. Um, I keep getting dings on my computer. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Because like I said, I put a comment in the comic book group that I'm with about that Uncanny X-Men 187, and if it was or was not a Mark Jewelers variant, and I have learned it is not a Mark Jewelers variant because it does not have the insert in the middle, and I was hoping, because that Mark Jewelers, pretty much that Mark Jewelers insert takes a $5 book and raises it to, like, depending on the issue and what's going on, if it's a key issue or not, that brings that book up, like almost $20 to $100 more. I've seen some of the Mark Jeweler issues of Uncanny X-Men issues selling for, over $100 just because it's a Mark Jewelers. So just depends, but mine was not, so I got what I needed. So this was a very fun book that I found. Um, I found issues 1 and 2 in the dollar bin for one of the vendors. It is called The Last Christmas. So I got issues 1 and 2. There were 5. This was a run of 5 books. So now I have to go and I have to find 3, 4, and 5. um, I will read it but I won't read it until I find 3, 4, and 5. Because if I do it, I want to read all of it at once. That's why I didn't start reading Absolute Batman. I tell you, I did read the first issue of Absolute Batman, but I didn't. I stopped until I got the run, at least some printing of every issue. And now I've read up through 8. Issue 15, I think, comes out this Wednesday. It's going to be the first appearance of Joker. So if you want to go grab issue 15 of Absolute Batman. Right now, these books are just skyrocketing in price. It's really crazy because everybody wants it. The cover A of issue 1 is over $100 now, and it came out in 2024. It's not even that old. Like I said, they're only up to issue 15, but the prices are just going through the roof. So definitely something for you to check out. But don't be greedy, okay? Don't go in there and buy every single copy and leave none for the people who actually want to collect it for the purposes of collecting, not trying to make a buck off of it. So just be kind. Be kind to the collectors, okay? So also when I went and got my ticket at the show yesterday, they offered me a choice of one of 3 free books. The first 2 books weren't too appealing to me, and the third book I really didn't see the whole cover, but I saw enough of something that it caught my eye, so I grabbed that one, and it was Godzilla #1. This is the Kaisei era. If I pronounced it incorrectly, I'm sorry. But this is the Kaisei era, and Tim Seeley is involved in this. So if you know who he is, pretty cool. He's done a lot of stuff with Image and things and other. He's done some runs on. I think he's actually doing the run on X-Men right now. One of the runs of X-Men. So, but it's a cool cover. I liked it. Picked it up. Very nice. Pretty cool that it was a #1 and they were just giving them away. So this was something that I've been looking for. I remember these when this book came out when I was a teenager, when I was younger. I don't even know if I can say teenager because I don't think it's that old. Let's see, let me pull it up here. So where are you, Creed? There we go. So yeah, actually, yeah, I was a teenager. This came out around the time when I was a senior in high school, actually. So it is Creed. Very cool. It was part of the Lightning Comics. I always liked it because of the artwork. I have issue 1 and issue 2 of the first series. And actually, I don't even know if this was the first series or the second series because they were both around the same time, same year. But I need issue 2. Once I get issue 2, then I can read this. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Oh, actually, no, I can't. Because I don't have any Mylar bags right now. I need to get some more prepared. All right, here we go. And I have found a good method. So these are the Comic Pro Mylar bags, regular size. Very cool. Very good stuff. They are the 2 mil archival safe Mylar. I believe they also have a 3 mil. Don't quote me on that. Check the website yourself. But I love these things. And like I said, you can't beat the price. You really can't. Like I'm gonna say it was $22 for 100 bags of Mylar. So I'm going to do a little bit bigger stack. Just go around. And then I got the 28-point boards, regular size. Really good, really strong, nice, great product. Remember, make sure you do the glossy smooth side. If you watched my video, you always want the back of your comic book on the glossy smooth side, and you can tell which one is which. I got the backwards. So I found the easiest way to get these in is just start it here, and then you just do that number, and they go on with no problem. Slide in with no problem. Now I know some people, and I'm going to do a little chat about the ProLine stuff here. I know one of the comments that I saw when I asked folks about, well, actually when I was telling folks on the comic book group about the ProLine, my order that I got, one guy mentioned that when he went through all of his bags and boards from the bulk order, he found that he was 2 bags and 2 boards short on every package. So I have been counting as I go through, and I have not had any issue with that so far. My count has been 100. So maybe it just happened to be an issue with quality control on that particular order, or that particular batch of stuff. It does happen. It definitely does happen. So, but thank you everybody for joining me while I do this. I know most of you are probably just watching in the ninja watching because only Eric has said hi to me. So I honestly don't even know who else is watching. Maybe my wife. I don't know. But thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Once I get these done, I'll show you. So I ended up. So the same person. So the same vendor that I got the Uncanny X-Men books from that I just showed. Pretty much they were doing 4 books for $10. So they were doing it was either 3 books $3 a piece, or 4 books for $10. So that's $2.50 a book. And I ended up getting a crap ton of early spawn. Like early spawn, like this was, they had in the box, they had a few issues that were over. They had nothing over 96, and then it jumped into the 300s. So I picked up a bunch of Spawn books from the early run for $2.50 a piece. I love that, because one of the things I'm trying to do as well is I want to get the entire run of Spawn. Now I know once you get into a certain, like once you get into the 100s and the 200s, some of those books are harder to get because the print runs were lower. So that's why some of those books have more value. and that's going to be my, one of the tough things to do. I know there's a few of those books that are in there that are in the $100 or more range. Um, so Spawn was one of my big favorites. I loved it. Still love it to this day. I'm probably going to start rereading from the beginning since I have issues 1 through 16. I am missing 17 and 18, and then I have another good run from 19 through almost 30, I think. So I got a good couple of the first years, a few of the first years of that book to read, and I might be able to find 17 and 18 relatively cheap for probably maybe. I know one place, if they do have it, unfortunately they're going to be $5 a piece, because I have found a few second in Charles. I found some copies at Second and Charles, because there is one over in Matthews which is just outside of Charlotte. And I had picked up some issues recently from there, and they were $4.95 a piece. Finding Spawn books in dollar bins are not easy. Usually you're going to find the earlier books in there, like possibly 17 and 18. But you'll sometimes find your threes, your fours, your fives, your sixes. Depending on the condition. If they're in better condition, you won't find them in your dollar bin books unless they have like a crap ton of them and they're just trying to get rid of them, which some places do. Like if they happen to buy a collection and if they find this person had like 50 issues of number 4, they're going to throw a lot of those in their dollar bin. And that's how I got a lot of my early stuff. I did find an issue 2. I was missing issue 2. I had a 1, and then I had 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I was missing a 2. And I actually found a 2 for $1 at the show. So it was awesome. Actually, no, I found it in the same place I did the others. I found it for $2.50. $2.50. Not bad, though. Not bad. All right. So let's see. So we're going to go ahead and get these creeds backed up. Now, I don't know if anybody else does this. No, I'm sure there's people that do this. So when you buy stuff, do you immediately rebag and board it? What's that face for, Eric? What'd I do? Did I do something wrong? Yeah, so I need to look through this because I haven't. Like I said, I mainly bought this book because I really like the artwork. And it's Trent Kenaga. I'll show it to you. It's right here. I'm probably pronouncing the last name incorrectly, but it's okay. But it's really cool stuff. I mean, he was a good artist. It's definitely got that. It's definitely got a little bit of a McFarlane feel to it. Oh, good. Thank you. But so do like when you buy stuff from shops, even if it's high dollar stuff, unless it's already in a Mylar bag, do you go through and rebag and board your stuff like almost immediately, or do you wait a little bit? let's see. So this was June. When was this one? This one was September. Okay. So this is the first one. This was the first Creed book. So it's very cool. I think this might be in black and white, but I'll have to look and see. I'm going to open it up and find out. But I definitely want to be careful because I don't want to mess anything up. Yes. So this is the first Creed book that came out, and this is in black and white. A lot of your independent books, when before Image, a lot of your independent books were all black and white. Still really nice and clean. It's a great. Yeah. So the new miniseries. So there's an ad on the back that's the new miniseries in full color, which was what that was. There's not many more that came out that I can find or see for this this series, which is sad because it had good artwork. Unless he went off to do other things, I don't know. Or I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I have to do some research. Maybe unfortunately he passed away. You never know. That's what happens to some people. Or he may have just decided he didn't want to do it anymore. So this was Aphrodite 9. This was the 4th series, I think, of Aphrodite 9. I only bought it because it was full cover. I'm not a fan of these self-sealing bags. I don't know why, just not. So, let's see. Yeah, so far, Eric, you are the only one who has sent me, who's chatted me up. But that's okay. There's 4 people watching. I mean, so. But I just wanted to get on here and talk about stuff, talk about comic books, talk about the show from yesterday. Like I said, where are all those? Where are they? Yeah, so here we go. We got issue 5. That was another one. So I was missing issue 2 and issue 5. I did notice afterwards that like last night when I was cataloging this stuff, there's a smudge right here by the Image. If I had noticed that when I was picking it out, because I would have grabbed the other one because I think there was a second one. But it is what it is. I'm buying it because I want the run. So $2.50. I mean, that's not bad. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. But the Spawn stuff, I've always been a fan of the art. First McFarlane, and then I'm going to probably pronounce his last name wrong. Capullo, Greg. Let's see. Spawny, where are you at? There we go. So, there we go. So after this weekend, and I think I have cataloged everything. I might have 1 or 2 that I haven't. So after this weekend, I now have 130 Spawn comics. So I've only read one. So I've only read one since getting onto this website. When I was younger, and I had this in my original collection. I had read issues 1 through 12, um, but that was a long time ago. So my estimated value on here is 623, and that's pretty. That's going to be pretty accurate because most of the Spawn books that I have are in really good condition. Um, right now, I've only got 3 keys, um, and like I said, I had a good run. Where was it from? Yeah, so from 309 up to up to 348. Um, I was collecting regularly. Every month I was getting that book. Every month I was getting just about every cover of each issue because thankfully Spawn doesn't do like a million covers per book. Um, this one here, this one and this one I picked up because this was the tribute to Chadwick Boseman when he passed away. This was the Black Panther tribute. There was this one, and then there was the black and white, and I have that the black and white there too looks really. But this is really sad when he passed away. He played the role of Black Panther very well. But yeah. So I got like I said, I got a good bit of this stuff this weekend. There's 69 issue 69. Um, that's right. That's what I was doing. I apologize. Let's go back here. Go back into the Spawn real quick. Yeah, so it's very interesting. So if you look at an artist run on a specific book, of course, Savage Dragon is going to be a very long one because it's been Eric Larson pretty much since day one. Um, and with a couple here and there where he didn't do one. I know one specifically, issue 13. There was an issue 13 that he did of the Savage Dragon, and I found several copies this weekend, and I bought all of them. It was done by Jim Lee. Jim Lee did issue 13, but then there's also a 13B where I have to look and double check, but I'm pretty sure it's the exact same story, the exact same things going on in the comic book, but issue 13A is all Jim Lee. Issue 13B is Eric Larson. Um, so it's pretty cool, pretty cool on that. But for Spawn, when McFarlane stopped doing the interiors and the covers, unless it was a specific cover. Now he did still do stuff with the covers, but it was him and Greg Capullo, and it's very interesting is that Capullo changed his signature style that he did as he was going through. So let me share this real quick again. So this is an issue 29 where Capullo and McFarlane did the cover, and this was his original this right here was his original signature on his comics cover, on his comic covers that he did. But after a certain time, he went and changed it to look more like McFarlane's right here, and actually spelling his last name out. And he did a massive run with Spawn. Just a massive run with Spawn. Like from, I think it was issue, I think maybe even issue after issue 12. I think maybe issue 13 may have been when he started. And I mean, he ran all the way up into the 200s, late 200s, like maybe even a 300. I have to look and see, but yeah, he did just a massive run on that book. Right now, my favorite artist that is my favorite living artist currently, Brett Booth, is doing the actual interiors for Spawn right now. He started with Gunslinger in the Spawn books, and I've got all of his run with most of his run with Gunslinger, which I missed a couple. I've got like 1 through 29. I got to go back and get the rest because like I said, I stopped collecting in early 2024. So I have about probably 20 issues that I got to go back and get that I missed out on. But Booth is my new current favorite living artist. I love his work. So awesome, so good, so clean, so nice. But the Spawns, like I said, there's just, I don't know. Actually, it looks like this one, issue 21. This was a Spawn, was a McFarlane, all McFarlane. At least the cover was. Let's see. Oh, here we go. So here's some more Turner stuff that I picked up. Got this for $1. It's Superman 202. There was a short stint where Turner was doing Superman. This is when he was doing some DC stuff. He did some Flash, the Superman, Batmans. So here's another one. So it's bagged and boarded upside down. So when you're flipping through, you're not getting the little wispies from the back of the flap. But there's definitely one that is going to get changed out. Save the board for a sec. Now they did board it incorrectly. They have it on the rough, flat side, not on the smooth, glossy side. So good thing it wasn't in there too bad. Now, noticing this is also this like it might have a little bit of water damage, because it is a little ripply along the top here. I don't know if you can see that in there. See, you can see some of the ripples. For myself, I'm not too concerned about that. I'm glad I only paid $1 for it though. So it looks like, he did the cover, Michael Turner, but it looks like Talent Caldwell did the interior. Yeah, definitely had some water damage on this book. But still, it's decent looking. Everything, all the pages are white, or well, not white because some of them are black. But the pages, I mean, there's nothing ripped. There's no tears. It's just a little ripply, and that's something I'm okay. I'm not too concerned with. Yep, Talent Caldwell did the interiors of this, so he's got good stuff. He's definitely changed up his style a smidge since kind of going out on his own. He used to have that very distinct Turner female face look. Now he's kind of gotten his own um, female face look. So good, that's the way to go. Put that with my other, where's the other ones? See, this is another one where this is all my Turner stuff. So I'm going to put this with the Turner books that I have. Now, something I have noticed with Mylar bags, you can't, you really don't, because they are they have some, you know, they protect better. They're a little bit thicker, even though they're 2 mil. They still have a different. They pack differently in your boxes. So what I'm learning is I'm either going to have less per box, or I'm going to have to flip them like every so often. Like every 10 books, I might flip them to where they're front to back. Because the way they sit in there, they kind of puff out, and where the staple side is, you're going to have more books coming like this. So if you flip them, you can keep them nice, compact, and flat. At least that's what I'm doing. So like every 10 books or so, I will rotate them. So, and then here's a couple more Turner books I bought. Witchblade number 6, and then Witchblade number 25. And those were $1 a piece. Actually, no, these were actually $2 a piece. Same thing with this one. This is a Fathom, but this is an Aspen Comics Fathom Turner cover. And then this was a Fathom number 5 from Image, which I actually had already, but wasn't paying attention and bought it anyway. But it's Turner. It's okay. Not in bad condition either. You know, nice. Really cool. Just love his artwork. Alrighty. Trying to get these things in there without bending them is sometimes a challenge. All right. Okay, well, I think I'm going to call it a day for right now, because, it's almost 1 o'clock. Shoot, I haven't even eaten lunch. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I know this was it was just me chit-chatting. That's what, hopefully I'll get more people to interact next time. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, everybody who watched. If you happen to rewatch this, please like, comment, share. I asked some questions in the beginning. Please, if you watch this, check it out, comment, answer me, give me an answer, please. But again, like, subscribe, comment, share out, hit that notification bell, and I will see you all next time. Thank you again. Have a good morning, evening, noon, night, depending on what time of the day it is you're watching this. Thank you all again. See y'all later.